Hello and welcome back to Clicks on the Side, and today we're going to be doing a 300-point modern theme team based around the Hydra keyword. That's right, we've been putting this one off for a little while. I wanted to make sure I had all the pieces in place, and they are now all finally here, and we're going to put together our Hydra theme team. Very glad to be able to do a Hydra team for the first time in a while. Probably Avengers Forever was the last time I had a good one with Dormammu Red. But this time around, we're going to have a new star for the Hydra team. And we are starting off from the Spider-Verse set. Super rare, number 46, Silvermane. There is Silvermane. All right, Silvermane is going to be 60 points for this team build, but that is actually going to be up to you how you'd play this, because he can go either 80 or 60 the way this one has been put together. For me, it is going to be at 60 points. He does have the Underworld team ability, the Hydra, Magia, Brute, Robot, and Ruler keywords. At 60 points, he has 6 clicks, a range of 5 with 1 target, has a trait, Head of the Family, Leadership, but succeeds on a 4 through 6. When Silvermane uses Leadership and succeeds, you may instead generate a Spider-Verse number 6 goon on its 15-point starting line. Silvermane starts the game with the Silvermane Head special object attached. There it is. It does come with its own base. Mine's misplaced at the moment. I believe I know where it is. I just did not decide to go grab it. All right, so there is the Silvermane head. Now, as for the goon, there is the goon that you can generate. He has Underworld as well as Team Player. Magia Brute has his own trait of Anything You Say Boss. When a friendly character uses Leadership and succeeds after resolutions, you may move Goon 1 square. At 15 points, you get 2 squares. You get 2 clicks, charge, a blank attack, willpower, and close combat expert. He also gets the Expendable Goon trait, Word on the Street. When Goon is KO'd by an opposing character after resolutions, you may roll a d6. 3 through 6 generate a character with the Expendable Goon trait on its 15-point starting line. So there you go. You get goons. They get knocked out. You can bring in better goons, such as the Inner Demon, my current favorite Expendable Goon. But you could also go back to the regular goon, because he's not bad himself with that close combat expert. It would be a 10 attack for 3 damage up close. Not bad at all for a free character to have on your field. But on top of that, you want the goons out there because of the effect of Silvermane's head. This object is indestructible and can't be used in close range trained actions. Characters that have this object attached or are holding it can use Mastermind and Perplexed. So, Silvermane now has Mastermind and Perplexed. He has the Underworld team ability, so he can carry those goons around with him as he's charging through. And if they do take a shot at Silvermane, you can Mastermind directly on to your goons. That's the way I would do it, at least. Starts off with a 6 charge, a blank attack, has Invuln for 17, and he also has Close Combat Expert. Later on, that does turn into Sidestep with ESD and Empower. But we're not quite done yet, as he does have a couple other traits. Trying to get ahead. When a character holding the Silvermane head is hit by a close attack after resolutions, they drop the Silvermane head, and the attacker may pick up the Silvermane head. Free. If Silvermane or an adjacent friendly character is holding the Silvermane head, attach it to Silvermane. Then he also has, if Silvermane, heads will roll. If Silvermane has a Silvermane head attached, he takes a maximum of 1 damage from attacks. When Silvermane takes damage, if the Silvermane head is attached, unattach it and place it 4 squares away from Silvermane. So there you go. Going to be very hard to take Silvermane out. just for the fact that he does have the perplex, so he can perplex himself up to an 18. On top of that, he will have the mastermind, so as long as you do have goons around, they won't be able to get to him. And even if they do get to him, if the head is attached, then they can only do 1 damage. Very solid piece. Now, for this team, he does have the brute keyword, so we are actually going to be giving him the +1 longsword. Yes, he already has close combat expert on his first 2 clicks, but this also gives him the blades that we want. Just to stick it to him a little bit more. Yeah, close combat expert, blades, and when this character uses blades, increased damage dealt by +1. So even if you're guaranteed to do 3 damage with the blades. Very nice. That is Silvermane, and that is the main reason he is the star of this team. They're going to have a lot of fun trying to take him out. Joining Silvermane, also from the Spider-Verse set, and also a super rare, we are bringing in super rare number 47A, Superior Octopus. Like that sculpt. Very excited to have it in rotation. I love the Prime too. You're going to be seeing him very soon. But right now we are looking at Superior Octopus. He is going to be at his 45-point starting line. Has the Sinister Syndicate and the Spider-Man family team abilities. Has Hydra, Sinister Syndicate, Spider-Man family, and Scientist keywords. For 45 points, you get 4 clicks, a range of 4 with 2 targets. And he does have a couple of traits. The first one is the wall crawler trait. Leap climb. Free. Place this character in a square of different elevation within 4 squares and line of fire. Very common trait you see with a bunch of web heads. So glad to see he got it as well. He also has spy bots. When Superior Octopus uses his displayed damage power, he may count squares for range and line of fire from friendly characters named Spider-Bot. That will come up here in just a moment. As you can see, he starts off with Charge, Incapacitate, a special defensive power, and Outwit, and that does later turn into Flurry, Blades, Super Senses, with some alternating between Probability Control and Outwit. Let's take a look at that special defensive power. I have these all over the city. Combat Reflexes, Super Senses. And of course, with his Spider-Man team ability, that is Super Duper Senses. When an opposing character misses Superior Octopus, after resolutions generate a Spider-Verse number 10 Spider-Bot on click number 1. There is our Spider-Bot. You'll go right there. And in case you are not familiar with the Spider-Bot, he is also an expendable goon. When Spider-Bot is KO'd by an opposing character, after resolutions, you may roll a d6. 1 through 3, deal the opposing character 1 penetrating damage. And then 4 through 6, you may generate an expendable goon. So, yeah, the very, very nice expendable goon to have. Great tie-up piece since it has that poison. It does have shape change. It is tiny sized. So just an annoying little piece that they would have to deal with to try to get rid of. Yeah. And then if they do get rid of it, best case scenario, they're taking 1 penetrating damage. So ideally, you're able to get 1, hopefully 2 out with his Super Duper Senses for all 4. Well, for the first 2 clicks. He does have Super Duper Senses through all 4, but that special damage power is only the first 2. I forgot to put you out there. There you go. Up next, sticking with the theme here, we are staying in the Spider-Verse, and joining us is another super rare and that might be most people's favorite super rare from that set. We're looking at number 40, the Spot. Yeah, it's just a basic sculpt. It really is, but it's so good. It's just the right sculpt for the Spot, in my opinion. And the Spot does also come with his Spot. There we go. The Spot is 55 points, has the Spider-Man enemy team ability and the team player team ability. Hydra, Modox 11. I don't think we can make a Modox 11 yet, but that is one I've been looking forward to trying. Anyway, Magia, Sinister Syndicate, the Hand, Ruler, and Scientist keywords. 55 points gets you 6 clicks. A lot of special powers going on in there. Very complicated piece, but if you get him right, he can do quite a bit. He comes with the trait, Welcome to Spot World. When the Spot starts the game, generate a spot marker within 4 squares. Free. Place the Spot's spot marker into a square within 4 squares, or place a terrain marker adjacent to the Spot's spot marker into a square adjacent to the Spot. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of spots in there, so you do got to keep track with this guy of what he can and can't do with that spot marker. All right, as you can see, he does have a special movement power to start off with, and it's I Am Not a Joke. Flurry, Phasing Teleport. Flurry as free, but only to target characters adjacent to his Spot's spot marker, regardless of adjacency. When the Spot hits, after resolutions, you may place a hit character adjacent to the Spot or a terrain marker within 3 squares of their current square. And then he also has a special damage power, Spot the Spot. Combat Reflexes Super Senses. Excuse me. Combat Reflexes Super Senses. When the Spot is missed by an attack, after resolutions deal the attacker 2 damage. And that is going to come in handy because, as you know, he is a team player. And now that Superior Octopus is on the team, he is going to copy Spider-Man family team ability. And he now has super duper senses for all 5 of his starting clicks. Yeah, he's just going to be... He's just a really solid piece. Love the ability to free flurry. The spot marker, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe there is nothing they can do about taking away the spot marker. I don't believe it can be attacked. I don't believe it can't be picked up. Let's actually take a look at Spot's spot. Friendly characters named the Spot treat characters occupying or adjacent to this marker as adjacent when making close attacks. When a friendly character named the Spot would move, before moving they may place themselves and the spot marker in each other's square. So with that means you do have to do a move action before you're, how I'm reading it, you have to commit to doing a move action before switching spots. So you can't just switch spots. The Spot actually has to either move or phase teleport or whatnot after switching spots with spot. If that's incorrect, please do let me know. That's how I interpret it. So yeah, I know there are better rules people out there than me, so please do correct me if I'm wrong with that. But there is the Spot, a very solid piece. Very hard to get rid of in having the combat reflexes and the super senses, the phase teleport, the spot. So many good things to like about the Spot. All right, up next is a piece I'm a little conflicted on. I'm very excited they exist, but I've been up in the air of which one I'm going to start with. But for the sake of this video, we're going to be starting with From Smash and Destroy, rare number 27C. We're bringing in Taskmaster. Now, if you're wondering what I mean by I am having trouble deciding, There are 3 different Taskmasters to choose from, and I could not decide which one I wanted to have actually on the starting force and which 2 were going to be on the sidelines. So on the sideline is going to be A, the Swordsman one, and B, the Hawkeye one. Love what I love the idea of this what they did with this Taskmaster. Instead of making it just another shifting focus, they've actually added a little bit, made it a little bit more complicated than that. But let's start off with our Captain America version. The Taskmaster comes in at 65 points. Has the team player team ability, Avengers, Hydra, Shield, Thunderbolts, Assassin, and Martial Artist keywords. Now, those are the same keywords for all 3 versions. I was hoping the Hawkeye one would have Marksman. It does not. All 3 have the exact same keywords. They all have 7 clicks. Let's see, do they all? This one in particular has a range of 4 with 1 target. The Hawkeye has a range of 6 with 1 target, and the Swordsman does not have range at all. But starting off with this Taskmaster, nice moves, Captain America is his trait. They each have one very similar, and we'll get into those. Sideline active, friendly characters with a nice moves trait that begin the turn on the map have free. If an opposing character within 4 squares and line of fire was attacked this turn but didn't take damage, replace this character with Smash and Destroy number 27C Taskmaster when you may heal. And let me try that. Then you may heal that Taskmaster 1 click. This Taskmaster starts off with Stealth, Incap, a special defensive power throughout, and then Outwit, and on his other click as he alternates, has Force Blast, Precision Strike, and Perplex. Let's take a look at that special defensive power, and this is why I have decided to start off with him. That dodge Daredevil did. Energy Shield Deflection, Super Senses. If Taskmaster replaced a character this turn, he has Safeguard, Outwit until your next turn. So that Super Senses is what did it. With the team player, we are going to go ahead and have him also copy the Spider-Man team ability for Super Duper Senses with that ESD and the Stealth to keep him protected till you get him into position for where you're wanting Taskmaster. And in the event he needs to do something, he still can. But he will be a placeholder to start off to hopefully meet one of these 2 situations. For this Taskmaster, his sideline active is Nice Moves Hawkeye. And free. If an opposing character within 4 squares and line of fire made a ranged attack since your last turn, replace this character with a Smash and Destroy number 27B Taskmaster. Then you may heal that Taskmaster 1 click. So you have him on the sideline for if somebody makes a ranged attack in the vicinity of your original Taskmaster. And for 27A, for the close attacks, the Swordsman, free. If an opposing character within 4 squares and line of fire made a close attack since your last turn, replace this character with a Smash and Destroy number 27A Taskmaster. Then you may heal that Taskmaster 1 click. Yeah. So there you go. Lots of options to go with Taskmaster. Lots of ways you can do it. I just felt like having the C Taskmaster up first has a better chance of getting one of the other 2 Taskmasters out for the situation that you find yourself in, while also still protecting Taskmaster. Now, you know you can't have a Hydra team without this guy. From the Collector's Trove, we are looking at rare number 27. We are bringing in the Winter Soldier. That's right. Bucky himself is joining the fray. Very glad to have this Winter Soldier in rotation. I mean, it wasn't bad, the one from Avengers Forever, but this is my Winter Soldier. Here we go. Winter Soldier has, at 55 points, has the team player ability. I'm going to let you guess what he's going to be copying. Has the Avengers, Hydra, Thunderbolts, Assassin, Marksman, Past, Soldier, and Spy keywords. For 55 points, you get 5 clicks. Improved targeting. Let me switch this up. He's a little blurry. That's better. Improved targeting through hindering terrain. Has a trait with him. Has a range of 6 with 1 target. Starts off with stealth, precision strike, toughness, and ranged combat expert. That does turn into pin psi and combat reflexes. And later on, if he has to, he gets sidestep with blades, combat reflexes. Has a trait that unfortunately won't be used in this game. Once per game, when a friendly character that's either 75 points or more, or named Captain America is KO'd, after resolutions, you may turn Winter Soldier to click number 7. So unfortunately, clicks number 7 through 11 will not be used for this build. As well as his special attack through that, so we will not be looking into that as well. But that is the Winter Soldier. He is basically going to be your sniper in the back to try to pick off anyone messing with Silvermane or Superior Octopus. Now, we are also going to be giving Winter Soldier, since it is free, Bucky's Arm. So we are going to add close combat expert and super senses to the Winter Soldier, but it only succeeds on a 6. Well, that's where that Spider-Man family team ability comes into play, and he will now have regular super senses with that equipment. So a very solid sniper piece. You do want to keep him back to protect him, but if they do come up on him, he will have close combat expert as well, so he will not be completely defenseless. That does leave us with 20 points. So this is the part of the team where you get to make the decision. You can go ahead and do Silvermane at his full 80 points at this point, and you have a 300-point team build if you want that running shot with the SD and range combat expert to start off. Or you can do what I'm choosing to do and using 15 points to bring in from the Wolverine and Deadpool and Weapon X set common number 14. We're just going to bring in a single Hydra agent. And then if you have any Hydra agents, I'm just curious if this has happened to you. I have one Hydra agent whose knife is like that. And all of my other Hydra agents, the knife is out like that. So just curious, did anybody else get one where it's pointing in like that? I'm just curious. Out of my 4, he's the only one with his knife like that. But there is the Hydra agent. The reason I am choosing to use the 15 points on the Hydra agent is because of his trait. He does have the Hydra team ability as well as Masters of Evil, Hydra Soldier, and Spy keywords, but he has the cut off one head trait. For all characters with this trait, when Hydra agent or another friendly character with the Hydra keyword is KO'd, after resolutions, roll a d6. 4 through 6 generate up to 2 characters named Hydra agent of 15 points or less on their starting click, adjacent to a friendly character with the Hydra keyword. So there you have it. I want him on the team not only as initial mastermind fodder for Silvermane, just in case you aren't able to get the goon off right away. You do have a Hydra agent there as a backup. And then if Hydra agent or anyone else on this team outside of a goon or a spider bot gets knocked out, that trait goes into effect. So let's say they do get to Winter Soldier and knock him out. Roll a 4 through 6 while Hydra Agent is still up, and you can potentially generate 2 more Hydra Agents, with charge, with blades, and combat reflexes for free. Now, while they wouldn't probably last very long, definitely annoying to deal with, and the fact that they could potentially do 6 damage with that blades just makes this Hydra team that much more troublesome. And it does leave 5 points if there's some other, I can't think of any other equipment I'd want to put on, but if there's a certain one shot you're wanting to use, leaves that open. I'm sure there's something you can do with that 5 points. But there you have it. That is my take on a 300-point modern theme team around the Hydra, keyword starring Silvermane. Let me know what you think, what changes you would make to this team, or if you think this would be how well you think this team would do. But thank you very much for joining me, and until next time, this has been Clicks on the Side.